All right, welcome back to the Mega Man X8 Talkthrough. We're here for the 8th Maverick, the Sunflower. Forget its first name. This stage is kind of weird. Even in-game, Alia will actually tell you if you ask her. This is some sort of like old training area, so there's a lot of basically tests in here. So there's a couple of things about these tests. If you do poorly on them, and most of them are measured by time, you get easier next tests and you stop a pillar from moving. However, you don't save as much time as you lose by doing slow enough to do poorly on the test. Also, if you do very well on the test, you can get a sub-tank at the end of this level, as long as you don't get a perfect score. If you get a perfect score, you get a much more worthless item. It gives you free money. How about that? Free money is worthless. This first test, though, is measured by how many enemies you kill. Red gives you a bad grade, yellow gives you the average grade, and green gives you a good grade. And since we don't want the money glitch, well, it's not even the money glitch, it's a separate money glitch. Since we don't want the money, we want the sub-tank. We need to not get a perfect score through all of these. This is a timed room, so this makes the most sense to kind of take the hit on your skill. If for whatever reason you're having trouble getting through a later test on time, you could certainly keep your score higher by getting the good grade here. And it would just change some of the other rooms a little bit. Really only the next room, because for the speed run, again, like every other room is graded by time, so we want to do every other room fast. Spin fly there is for no particular reason, it's just to do it fast. The pillar doesn't move because we had a good grade. So what's going to happen here in this second sort of test. That first test, it was as easy as it looked. Just kill everything. Fun fact, the X route does this stage first, and so you have to get through that entire first test with X's Buster, basically, unless you want to use Zero's Saber. So have fun with that. An enemy in this room, though, is going to kind of fly up, hover around here for a minute, and then fly up. You want to kill it within the first 2 cycles. You can, thanks to this Glaive's ridiculous reach, 1 cycle it with 0. That was a really good setup because you could see kind of extra hits coming out from the ground. It didn't actually happen, but you saw the dot in the background went to the high route, so that means we did good. So again, they're just a vertical shaft. We fly up. This is what the pillar shifting for a good grade looks like. So here, this guy. This one is somewhat deceptively hard. The easiest way to take this enemy out is to use the spin fly attack. But he's going to teleport away. The difference in him getting away and not is actually, when you jump, make sure you look to the left first. And that will cause the first slash to go this way. That is enough time to get the first hit and actually kill him. Ta-da! If you're looking to the right, he gets away most of the time. That room is obviously free. This room is as simple as it looks. Those gears in the middle of that room, I should mention, depending on what your grade coming into this room is, like if you're in the middle dot coming in, that room, the gears turn different directions. So if it's going up and you do that strat, it might not work right away. So yeah, your strats may vary in that room. That's what you want to get in that room. There are some really awkward patterns where you might need to actually escape going off the bottom of the screen there. By all means, do it and get through the room, but that should work pretty much every time. This is another sort of stair room, so just fly up. There's X's armor in the top left. Is this the big guy you hit a lot? So this guy, every time you hit him, he shrinks a little bit. And he starts firing a lot of shots around the room. If you don't have a top grade coming into this room, he fires less shots, stuff like that. So really here, this isn't a boss, so feel free to spin fly. Just do whatever you have to do to hit him a lot. A lot of those shots are actually bouncing away, by the way, because Zero's orange saber, which you get after Trilobite, deflects shots. So you're kind of seeing it here already. We just dashed off the ledge while holding left. And there's a platform right here that we're about to land on. From there, it's going to be another dash jump in this direction. Yeah, I think it's just a dash jump, or I'm looking at this arc. It's not going to work. You dash jump to about here, and then spin fly the rest of the way. There's a few ways through this room. Oh, that's the trick. I knew there was something. Sorry about this. It's like I said, it's been quite a while since I've actually played this game. The intended route through this room, by the way, is to kind of air dash up to the top and just air dash all the way down. And that's kind of slow. There is the potato jump that PND uses, where you do an air dash off of that bottom platform. You jump, air dash, and then you use a saber swing to sort of extend it a little bit. But really here, this jump and the way it kind of comes down is to get underneath this ceiling. That's the big thing you're kind of looking for. If you fly into the ceiling by accident, I mean, you just kind of do the normal strat and dash over there. You could spin fly like there. I mean, there's a million ways out of it. But the main thing you're doing is making sure your jump gets you under that before you go up. That's also just a cool room to do, because people look at it and say, whoa! This guy is free. The higher your grade, the faster the spikes move at you. This room, you just kind of jump out to the right a little bit. It's pretty free. This room, this is actually not the Vile room right now. If Vile was in this stage, this is where he would be. You have two enemies in this room with the top grade. It looks like it might be tricky, but you're going to just kind of take a couple of steps forward, spin fly, and that will just knock them both out. And this is the worst room in the game. Get over those spikes. So here's kind of the trick. If you dash jump into this wall right here, and this is actually true of any wall in the game, if you jump immediately, you're going to get another dash jump, you're going to try and air dash, and it's not going to work out. Don't do that. Jump into this wall and just kind of wait a second. Then jump so you can do the air dash. And just kind of, wait a second there. I guess you could also fly over this and try and land there. Just be careful for this. This jump becomes kind of the next edition of that don't jump right away, because you obviously need to get through the middle of this section right here. Okay, yeah. So there's two ways through this. You could do what I just did. This is actually the faster but risky way of doing it. And then, of course, you're going to jump and just air dash through that. The other way to do it, you could come to here, air dash to here. If you do that, though, again, wait a second. Otherwise, you get the wall jump dash, and you don't want that. And just make sure you get enough height to go over those spikes. That room is awful. This is the dragon. It's kind of the big mini-boss of the training exercise. So the trick here is a combination of how much life do you have, so you can start tanking, spin attacking this guy and not flinching. If you have a lot of life, just, kill him. He does switch directions at one point in that fight, so that's all there is to it. That room I'm just dashing up because I believe dashing is actually faster than spin flying. This was a sub-tank. Get it. This is your donation incentive. Look it up on mmhp.net, the Mega Man homepage, or if you have a save file for Mega Man X Command Mission on your PS2 save memory card. Cutman is here, inside a little portal. You don't have to fight Cutman. I think you could still skip him. Cutman is extremely weak. He is weak to the super arm, which you do not have. You have futuristic weapons that basically two-shot him. You do not get the rolling cutter. So, Optic Sunflower is annoying, both in tone of voice and that the flower teleports around a lot. So, like everybody else, just slash a lot. Make sure you get all these hits in. Don't get caught by the orbs. You end up getting trapped. The missiles are the weakness. That's Panda's weapon. So 2 hits, you do this. From here, you have 2 cycles. If you don't get rid of the flower in 2 cycles, it does another rearranging of the room, which you don't want to see. You saw there a good example of using the spin fly to avoid some flinching so I could keep doing damage. Here, once you see this pattern, this is the Desperation Attack brought to you by Mega Man X4. You're kind of looking for this set of lines here to kind of focus down to 1, at which point you dash. How fast you react kind of plays a role in exactly when you dash out of the way. And obviously I'm like kind of doing a little hop there as an extra timing mechanism so it actually fades out entirely. I mean, just do whatever works for you. And as soon as that last laser's on the ground, end the fight. This is another fight where you can kind of make use of dealing extra damage over the threshold for entering the next phase of the fight to make the next phase a little shorter, so that you can avoid a second rearranging of the room during the middle phase. Other than that, I mean, it's Sunflower. Just kill the flower. This was the last Maverick stage. Jakob Elevator is next. Actually, hang on a second. Let's go shopping. You got the sub-tank. You have to actually buy it, like the glaive. So the very first thing you do here is cycle up to actually buy the sub-tank. From there, you're going to basically buy all of the other health upgrades you want. In theory, there's an easy time save here of don't get the health upgrades you don't need. The final boss is really the only part of the game you will actually need all of this health. I'll also point out, right, one of your life bottles, but not both of them, went into starting to fill up this sub-tank. So you get a little bit of a boost there. That said, I'm pretty sure we go back here, cycle back up to the top, and make use of the cheap life charge to get another bottle worth of health in here. It is kind of worth pointing out, I'm pretty sure the game does not actually check to see if you have 50 medals before giving you this life charge. That's how you can underflow your count later on. But that's another glitch that's not needed in this run.